Rap battles of history. Ractonite versus Masterdominus. Begin.
Y'all know that? Epic rap battles? I don't know if they're still around. They used to be big back in the day, but they used to always start with
Epic rap battle presents.
or something like that. But anyway, hey, we're going to check out Master D versus Ractonite today to try to determine who's the better fossilizer. And if you're just going to be tuning in for this first minute, I'm going to just tell you right now, I think it's Master D. But it may not be for the reasons that you think. And so they are very, very similar. They are these stubby, chubby twins to some degree. I think they're more cousins than anything. But there are some subtle differences. And we're going to go over all of that. So first of all, if we're just talking about build quality, Ractonite, hands down. Yo, you see how sturdy he is? There's not a lot of stuff like swinging. But dude, if I do this, there's already stuff. And I'm not even, going back here where these little nubby things aren't even stuck on too tightly. But and also the waist, you can see this just kind of spinning around like freely. Like, yeah. Build quality, dude, this is not moving around. Rack is far, far, far superior. So if we're just combining how sturdy, the integrity of each bot, hands down, it's Ractonite. Yeah. But let's take a look at some of their parts. You can see that Master D has the two really cool tusks, and Ractonite has that one single gummy tail thing. I like both, but I feel like there's a lot more versatility in terms of what you can do with Master D's weapons, and so that one goes to Mr. MD. Yeah, their shoulder bits are the same, the hip connectors, and more or less the legs, the bottom half is the same, but dude, this guy's stuff is just like loosey-goosey. It's super loose-goose. Yeah. It is nice, though, that, I hid them back here, but he has these additional appendages. Those are nice, and Ractonite doesn't have those. But the bottom legs are essentially the same, but yeah, like I said, Master D's is just loosey-goosey. So even though they're identical, because of the build quality, that one goes to Ractonite. Yeah, that one goes to Ractonite. Dino heads, or alt mode heads. There's a lot of great things about the Ractonite head, and I think this one's going to be a toss-up because this one can combine with Wingfinger, right, to create the Gestalt head, and this guy can combine with Spindle to create their own version, so it's a bit of a toss-up. They're very similar in terms of what they can do, but I'll say it's even. On this front. Earlier, I talked about the little extra bits, the little extra limbs, appendages that he has, and they're really, really nice in terms of their function and what they allow you to do. So that's something that this guy doesn't have, and so that clearly goes to Master D. Another thing, a difference is, so both of them have really, really cool faces. I think what's cool about Master D's face, dude, he has these tiny little tusks on the side of his face, like right there, or I think they look like tusks, and I think that's really cool. And the matte black, by the way, the paint is, the paint apps on Master D are better than Ractonite, which is just, he looks like some snow trooper or something like that. The thing that I do not like about Master D is he does not have a peg up top. I wish they had somehow incorporated something there, but no peg, and looking like Voldo over here. If we compare that to Rack, yeah, you can see Rack got that peg, and you can use it for different things. But I wish functionally MD had something, but I don't know. So I guess that one I would give to Rack, but barely. All right, let's look at their little forearms. At a glance, they look similar initially, but if you look at it sideways, you can see that Master D has one extra peg. He has one additional peg, and that allows you to do a lot of neat things. Like, for instance, plugging it into the side of the body, like so. That's cool. And he has a couple interesting things. Check it out. So like I said, Ractonite has a better fit, but there are some areas where Master D, you plug him in, and then at the end, I'm going to see if you can hear it. There's going to be a snap. Oops, he's blurry. It doesn't really matter for you to hear the sound, but see or listen if you can hear it sound. You hear that? It goes in and there's like a click at the end. I'm not exactly sure how they did that or if that's an accident or something, but yeah, he has a couple of bits that are like that. And yeah, so there's this cool little click at the end. But like I said, going back to the forearms, Master D has that one extra peg, which is really cool. But there are some ups and downs. So let's talk about the ups. The pros is, like I said, it has cool little paint apps, by the way, with a little silver on the toes. I think that's really cool. The pro is that he has an extra peg, and that will allow you to do some cool build things. That's about it. Here are the cons. So he has this like flower-shaped like little design over there. And while that looks really cool, almost like a bone, you can't plug this in here anymore. You could do that with Rack, but with Master D, you cannot do that actually. And so that's a bit of a bummer. Here, I'm just going to remove this all. Because, I mean, at this point, this is really kind of like the last part of the video. Yeah, and if you see here, Rack can go in there no problem. And he can, like, wrap around and do different things. Yeah, so that's nice. So that's one negative. Another negative, and this drives me bonkers. Yo, look at that smooth joint, right? On this one's a little bit tighter, but this one, it's loose goose. And maybe it's because there's the extra added weight. It's still pretty loose goose. But look, my man has teeth in there, little ratchets. And that makes it so that it is not moving. I mean, it's moving on this joint, but if I'm holding this part, dude, this is not going down. Whereas if I'm holding him here, like, dude, this, you see that? This is not doing that. And so again, it goes back to the structural integrity that we were talking about. Rack is just better in that regard. The final bit that really separates the two, in my opinion. And it's actually the body part. So when you extend this out, there's all these things here. And honestly, I don't think it's necessary because look, where is it? If I try to get this hip piece and plug it in here, there's a clearance issue. You see that? And I think you can plug this, but even then, there's a clearance issue there. Yeah, there's a clearance issue there. Let me get this focused a little bit. And it's mostly because these frills, these things that are totally unnecessary, that serve no purpose. But, yo, they adjusted on my man. Dude, he is smooth. Got nada. And so you can just plug stuff in there directly, and it's flush, you know. I think that's better. And I've done a couple of cool new things now that this allows it. And so that's probably one of the big differences in terms of, like, building. And so, yeah, so if I take all of those things into consideration and I add all of that up, this is really tight. It's not going in there all the way. I'm not really sure if that's by design. But if I take everything, I'm going to go with Master D. My bad, Rack. Dude, I still love you, man. Nah, we're homies, dude. Yo, don't be like that, Rack. Aw, man. Dude, he's upset now. He's upset. I mean, I get it, dude. No, Rack. Let me put it this way, Rack. You're still, in my opinion, you're still no. I'm not walking it back. No, just listen for a second. Listen. Master D has some new cool functionality things, new functions that allowing me to build unique, some new stuff with them. But yo, you're the first. And you still have a ton of redeeming qualities. Yeah, like I said, all right, I'll put it this way, Rack. If I were to go out and battle, who would I take with me? Hands down, you, my guy. Hands down, you. Oh, man, my stomach's growling right now. Dude, I'm hella hungry. You guys hear that? It was like... But it sounded like when like a video game character dies. Like... But yeah, Rack, I'm just saying, if I was going out to battle, yo, 100%, hands down, is you, my brother, is you. It's just that Master D allows for some cool builds. But yeah, in terms of structural integrity, keeping everything together, and, you know, being there, Rack, you're my guy. You're my guy. Man, toys be getting all sensitive and stuff, you know? It's like, geez, I don't know if your toys talk to you or if you hear them, but they're a sensitive bunch, man. They got feelings and stuff, and so... Anyway, I hope you've liked the comparison video. I appreciate all the love, by the way, for the Spindle versus Paleotrex video, and so I thought this would be a good companion to that. Yeah, and thanks for your time, okay? Y'all be safe out there. Adios, geese. Bye.